Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities. We're going to work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities and ETFs that I follow. If you need any help with anything, check out finding-value.com. You can join that our community, 50% off. Use the discount code September in the coupon code. Let's dive in and see what's going on with the markets. Starting with the DXY. Now I've got this drawn in here, technical analysis. It's not exactly perfect. What if we just did a little bit of that? Whoa, there we go. Maybe we're still coming up in this rising wedge. Maybe we accelerate to the upside. The reason I say maybe to the upside, and I know it's a rising wedge, it's supposed to break to the downside. Well, yields sure look pretty strong. So let's take a look at yields. Generally, the DXY is a reflection of how strong yields are. So looking at the 2-year, we are solidly above the resistance support line. It's support right now. We've got a big green candlestick, 2 down candlesticks. This looks good to go higher. And if we go higher, generally the DXY goes higher with it. TNX, which is the 10-year, well, that looks strong too. There we are sitting on top. That's a big breakout on the long term. But we go to the dailies. I mean, this is a clear breakout, guys. And yeah, it might come back down before heading higher. Yeah, it's possible. I get it. But we're above support, guys. We are above support. So what am I going to think? Eventually, it's going to work its way higher, unless this is a false breakout. But I don't know if I believe that. The 2-year looks awfully strong, and the way that it fell into that support, this looks bullish, not bearish. TYX also, shooting higher yesterday, and we could come back and do a retest. I understand, but it's got support underneath it. TYX TNX ratio is up today, but again, guys, I'm not buying this. I think yield's going to go up, and I think the yield curve could still invert further. Is a possibility. And that's why we're sitting on top of all of the key support structures for yields. Bond prices, yes, we bounced today, and maybe this gap fills. Maybe we come up, but you know what? It could very much turn back over. Bonds are underneath. They're getting stuck in a bunch of resistance, which means it's going to get harder and harder to fight its way back up. And there's a lot of resistance ahead of us. Conversely, interest rates have a lot of support below it. So rates and bond prices move inverse to each other. And there's the 2 and 10, and I still think this is a weird day yesterday. Weird day, but again, we'll see. This is a falling wedge that generally breaks to the upside. Gold with slightly lower yields. Gold's hanging in there. It likes lower yields. It likes the yield curve on inverting. So gold's up, silver's up, and platinum's up. That relationship so far has remained kind of together. And I'll just throw kind of maybe some support resistance there just to show you guys kind of what I am seeing. So we'll see where this thing goes. Just let it kind of work its way out. I've got time. These are cheap. Lots of upside potential. XAU to gold selling off. It's right at support. We'll see if this thing sells off to the downside. If it does, what does that tell us? It tells us that yields are probably going to go higher. So all of this is interconnected. If yields go up and the yield curve inverts further, that's why we've got that yield curve inverts downward, why we're on top of all these patterns. It all adds up where we could go lower in the short term for the XAU to gold ratio. That is possible. If the right market conditions are not going to come for it to do well in, well, maybe it goes lower. CRB index holding on. Again, I think we're going to still go a little bit lower down to that support level. That's my guess. And then the CRB to S&P 500 heading higher. Looking good to head on up where commodities outperform the S&P 500. We've got a long runway ahead of us in terms of valuation runway. So GDX down a little bit. Gold was up. GDX was down. GDXJ was down a little bit. And SILJ was down a little bit. We're going to lose this to the downside. We could see further downside. It is possible in the gold and silver mining companies. Crude oil, 0.78. It's not looking stellar, though. We've got a lot of wicks at the top. There's sellers here. So we are getting pummeled by sellers at that region up there. And that's why we get all those wicks. So, again, I'm not going to do anything. This is the time where I just sit in my companies, enjoy the $90 plus oil price, and let them make a bunch of money. Oil stocks can still go up even if oil just goes sideways. As they buy back shares, increase cash flow, increase dividends, whatever it is, over this past quarter. TTF gas up 2.77%. We've got what looks to me like it's trying to bottom here and go on up is what it looks like to me. Looks strong. Nat gas in Henry Hub up a little bit today, 1.26%. Not really a strong day compared to the last two selling pressure days, but it's hanging in there. XOP, yeah, you know me, it does look like we could still see some further downside. We've broken the uptrend. Let it loop around. Let it go where it needs to go, guys. It's been doing a lot of heavy lifting all the way up here. Hit its head. Hit its head. Hit its head. And we're probably going to loop back again until we break down that resistance structure of that neckline. OIH up a little bit, but this isn't really showing me strength yet. No green army. Little update today. I'm not convinced. I think we still got a little bit more downside or sideways action until we see the green army show up. Sprout Physical Uranium Trust looking like a beast. Look at that thing go, guys. Boom! That's a bullet coming out of a gun right up. Boom, just shot out of it. So, I mean, that looks strong, guys. I wouldn't bet against that momentum. That's for sure. Still looks like it could go higher. Super strong day today with a super strong closing. URA up quite a bit today following the Sprout Physical Uranium Trust. Still looks good. Again, this is the time to basically sit on your hands and do nothing. Just let this thing go up. Let it make you money, guys. I wouldn't try to trade in and out. That's just not me. This has got a lot of momentum behind it. Just let it go. URNM doing the same thing. Just let it go. Let it make you money. Let your account go up. Just let it go up, guys. Don't fight it. URNJ, same thing. This is just a amplified move versus the other sectors or other ETFs. TAN, I still think TAN's going down to 48 at a minimum. We're going down there. COPX, it's holding on. It's holding on, guys. It's trying. But again, we're still within the channel. Lithium's trying to get a little bit of a bounce here. Doesn't look too convincing to me. I would not be looked down here. I mean, yeah, it's cheap, but I think we could go lower. I really do. I think we could come back to 36 bucks even. REMX, we got a bounce today, but I'm not convinced, guys. I'm not. I think we're going lower. Why do I think that? Well, we've got yields sitting on top of their patterns, guys. Yields price all this stuff. And you're looking at lithium and REMX, and these guys they need money. They need low interest rates. They need to be funded. And they're not the cash cows like oil and nat gas and all those areas. So I do think they're more susceptible to the overall markets. And the overall markets look like garbage. I think we're going to continue lower in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ. It's going lower. That momentum, they're not going to kill that. Look at the red army over here. In that circle, you've got red, big, fat, ridiculous candlesticks all over the place. So short term, I think we're going to go lower still. Emerging markets liking the weaker yield. Was the dollar weaker today? Yeah, dollar was slightly higher. But EM liking the weaker yields. I do think this is going to work its way up. Give it time. XHB, I think this is going to go down, guys. Like this is the red army showing up here. So I do think it could head lower with the overall markets and the interest rates going up and mortgage rates. Further downside in the short term. We need lower yields. Moo also heading lower. That looks like we could go lower in Moo. It's broken out of this support level. Lower, lower, lower. Copper. Oh man, where is this going to go? Well, we're sitting on the bottom side of support. You could draw this a little bit different. On the dailies here, you could draw it down here and say you're still above support. So let's see what happens over the next few trading days, weeks, or whatever, to see where this thing trades. Iron ore, I still think looks okay. Still looks good to go higher. It's the little bloody nose and a little small down day there that generally works its way higher. Nickel, it's heading lower. Again, when I look at nickel chart, there's no green army here. This looks like it could still go lower. I wouldn't be jumping in front of the momentum. Aluminum's actually looking quite strong. I know there's a deficit out for aluminum out in the future. It's like 2024, 2025. But this looks strong. Looks like it could go higher for aluminum. Baltic Dry Index, I'm still in the camp that this could go a lot higher. It looks real strong for that. Newcastle Coal Futures up. I still think that could go higher too. TTF, Dutch Natural Gas and coal could both go up together. And then we've got Bitcoin, which is probably confused because the overall markets and interest rates. Same with Ethereum. Again, guys, I think this is going to trade like the NASDAQ. And I think it's going to go inverse to yields. So if yields go up, I think Ethereum and Bitcoin will go down. So that's my opinions there. Take it for whatever it's worth, guys. Oil's still hanging in there. Uranium's looking fantastic. Definitely the strongest of the groups. Precious metals still hanging in there. I don't know if it's the right market conditions for that to just rip yet, but I think it's coming soon. The markets, I mean, they could be slowing down here. I mean, obviously the overall markets they're tanking. So interesting to see over the next few weeks where this goes. And yeah, I mean that's what my opinions are over the next few weeks. We've got a 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time Sunday question and answer session that's coming up. So if you want to see what my opinions are and ask me direct questions during that call, sign up to the membership or the community there and ask whatever questions away. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys next time. This is Finding Value.